Have you recently hit rock bottom? Does your life suck no matter what you do? Well, buddy, I got news for you. In today's episode of the Positivity Hour, we are going to be talking about just that: how to rebuild after you hit rock bottom. In this podcast, I'm going to give you my own personal story as well as what I did to move on and up in life afterwards. All that and more after the intro. Woo! All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are in Iowa City, Iowa, as you can see by the airport. And yeah, I'm your host, Darshaun Smith, aka the Positivity God on all social media platforms and such. And yeah, I just want to start by saying thank you for your time. And what a time to be alive. There's a lot happening, good and bad. And let's talk about that in the time capsule.
Time capsule.
First thing we got for the time capsule today is the Iran-Israel war that Donald Trump just kind of wants us to be a part of because he just, shot some missiles towards one of their nuclear facilities. Like, I'm not going to get all political up in here. I'm just here to provide you world news and say that, yeah, there's a lot of conflict for a variety of reasons in our land right now. And our land being the earth, because we are Homo sapiens. We all live here, and I'm not sure about you. It doesn't matter what side you're on. I don't want to go to nuclear war. So I hope that we can stop killing each other sooner rather than later and find a way to make peace amongst us. So yeah, that's a current event that I wanted to throw on the time capsule. Number two, okay, Caitlin Clark's new bodyguard, okay, SOPHIE Cunningham, I think is her name. We also had Leah Boston before and Lexi Hull a little bit. Wish we had more, but her recent bodyguard, Sophia, one, the Twitter saying she a baddie or whatever. I mean, she cool. I mean, she all right. But really what people are talking about is how that when they were disrespecting her, this last week, beating her up, dragging her to the ground, getting some cheap shots on our star, Indiana star, Caitlin Clark, CC number 22. Yeah, she was like, nah, okay, I guess if y'all want to play like that, I'm going to have my white girl Draymond Green moment and did this. Nah, that's crazy, dog. I ain't even going to lie. And, I'm not here to condone violence. I'm not here to be like, you need to go beat people up. But I am here to say that, support those people who support you. And if they would protect you in a time of need, I hope that you would protect them as well in a time of need. And yeah, as per usual, everyone makes it about race and this or that because afterwards she gained like 800,000 followers on TikTok and is now having the best-selling jersey in the whole WNBA. So it's a whole thing. A lot of people got a lot of stuff to say. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just here to let you know that although people are still trying to beat up the face of the WNBA, her teammates are starting to beat those people up in response. So maybe they'll think twice. Last thing I want to talk about, which is, a little bit more on the up and up, because the first two things were kind of aggressive, I'm not going to lie, is I'm just grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to have all this equipment, grateful to have this car, grateful that there's not a cloud in the sky, nowhere, literally. And I'm just grateful I got an opportunity to potentially help some people out there. Because I've helped myself, and that's a big thing we're going to be talking about is the me, myself, and I, you, and what you got going on. And I'm here because of what I've done, objectively speaking. I've had some help, but I ultimately had to make the decision to listen to that person or not. And that progressed me in life, go this way or that way. And that progressed me through life. So everything I've done in my entire existence has gotten me to this exact point, and I'm grateful for that. So let's talk about the main topic.
Time for the main topic.
So yeah, hopping over to the main topic, I'm just going to give you like a year-by-year playthrough, or playback, we'll say, from 2019 to modern day, because that really encapsulates my whole, like, rock bottom experience. Because in 2019, Lord, I was arguably at rock bottom. Like, it depends on what your definition of it is. Is it financial? Is it, socioeconomic? Is it just your position in this world? Like, did you just break up with someone so you're at rock bottom there? Once you find out you're rock bottom, you can obviously start there and then work your way out of it. If you've already done that, I applaud you. But this is my rock bottom. This is my story. This is some things I had to overcome over the last 6 years of my life. Funny enough, I started this podcast in 2019 in July. So next month will be the 6-year anniversary of this podcast. So look alive for that. But in 2019, I was broke. I had no money. And that's not just because I started the podcast, or I started college, or I was just finishing high school. Like, no, I was just broke. Like, my whole family, we were just kind of down bad, bro. And especially when I got to college, I just remember vividly, like, not being able to even eat off the dollar menu at McDonald's, my guy. Like, I literally did not have like $3 or $4 to my name to spend for anything, let alone some McDonald's. Obviously, I got a job, a pretty good paying job, paid $13.75. That's the best I was doing yet, you know what I'm saying, for myself. And that led its way to an eventual career, air quotes career, but still in that job that ended up paying me, pretty much like 23. But we're getting ahead of ourselves because that's like 4 years later. But in 2019, like, once I got that job at Canvas, I started to see things turn around. Obviously, my relationship with those around me, my family and friends, got better because I actually had money to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? I went from this person who no one could rely on. I went from this person that, I couldn't provide anything for anyone. I couldn't even provide stuff for myself. I was feeling bad. I felt like I hit rock bottom. I felt like I was pretty useless, you know what I'm saying? Because if anyone needed anything, they ain't calling me. And especially as a man, especially the way I grew up, I want to be a provider, call me traditional or whatever. But I just feel like it's the guy's job to, like, hey, like, when something's going wrong, call me. In 2019, I was not there. I was like the farthest version of Darshaun away from that. Yes, I'm an 18-year-old kid that just graduated high school. So, you got to have perspective now. But then again, there are 18-year-olds who are self-made millionaires driving around in Lambos. So I took it as motivation that, hey, there are people like me who are doing it. I just got to figure it out. So that's when I already started. From year one of rock bottom, I was like, okay, no, it's possible. I just got to figure out how to do it. And this theme of I just got to figure out how to do it is still true to this day, but we'll talk more about that. So in 2019, obviously, like I said, I got the job, started getting some more money, started working my way up the social ladder, had some friends. We actually did some things, went to some parties. I was living life. And then this little beautiful thing called the coronavirus came around in 2020. Literally halfway through my first year of college, they were like, yeah, it's spring break, go home, have fun, but pack your bags and take everything because you're probably not going to come back. And my RA was right. So I'm glad I live close to Iowa City. My actual home is in Cedar Rapids. I'm moving back there in like 2 months. But yeah, it was just a chill vibe because I was able to move everything out easily when everyone else was like, oh, no, I got to get a U-Haul and this or that. And it was super crazy. I was like, okay, I could just move myself out of my car and just kind of wing it. And I'm super grateful for that. But COVID obviously was a big rock bottom spot for me mentally because I had just started to get on an upward trajectory, remind you, okay? Or to remind you. And then all of a sudden, I can't work my job anymore because that's out of the picture. So back to square one with low funds. But not to mention, my whole mental health is trashed now. I can't see my friends. I can't go outside. I can't party and have fun because this is peak COVID. Like, people are dying left or right. They're putting so many dead people. There's so many dead people, they had to put them in freaking, Connex boxes and refrigerated semi-trailers. Like, it was bad. We try to, not remember the COVID times. But, I remember the COVID times because it sucked. It sucked for everyone. There was nobody it didn't suck for. And I would say that's a recent memory where everyone on this planet had a rock bottom moment. Obviously, some parts of the world recovered faster, like Sweden. They locked up for like 2 hours and then everyone was back in the club. But, places like, Wuhan, China, and, Beijing and those big cities, Nah, man, they said everyone locked up no matter what for like a year straight. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You sneak out, you're gonna get shot on sight type beat. And it's a beautiful thing because when 2022 came around, because I'm so grateful I live in the great country of the United States of America, we outside. Don't get it twisted. COVID's still very much a thing, but the vaccine's starting to come around, and everyone's getting the ouchie Fauci. They were saying at the time, and man, we was outside. I'm not saying I was a full DJ and going to all these parties and stuff, but no, man, I was like, man, I'm gonna ride my booster board. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna get this vitamin D. I'm gonna see people in a park at least, bare minimum. Like, there's no way I can continue to live like that because that's too low. Okay, I felt like I was gonna jump off a bridge if I kept doing that. And because of that, the we back outside, it got me to 2022. I got a girlfriend. Didn't plan on that. It just kind of happened, which I think is kind of cool because it was kind of organic. But eventually, we did break up. Eventually, I did make some money, but eventually, I did lose that money. Eventually, I started a business, but eventually, that wasn't going right. So in 2021 to 2022, I was just taking L's left and right. I was doing things, which is great. I was trying to make it out because I realized people like me were seeing the success. So I was trying to do it, but I just kept taking L after L after L after L. And I'm just giving you the short story version because I don't want this to be like a 2-hour story, which kept me just pushing through, which leads me to 2023, okay? Where I put here on my notes, discipline saves all. I understood that, hey, this life I want to live and where I want to get to, the money I want to have, the clothes I want to wear, the lifestyle I want to provide for myself, my family, and those around me, it's going to take some time. So discipline saves all. And that leads me also to 2024, where I took a ghost mode period, is what I called it. And I got off social media. I'm starting to get into the things that really changed my life here. I got off social media. I stopped listening to everyone around me because I understood I was being programmed. So instead of listening to everyone and watching YouTube videos and the news and all of these different sources of media to intake on the world and what I wanted to believe in such, I just journaled a lot. I took it upon myself to change my life. I took the time, okay? I didn't wait for it. I took time, and I cut things out of my life very strategically, like social media, like YouTube, like Instagram. And I used that time to sit in the dark, okay? I used that time to write my feelings down, write my emotions down, because there's nothing wrong with feeling something, especially as a man, okay? We get told, like, oh, don't show no emotion, don't cry, don't be this or that. No, like, hey, real tough men think about their emotions and feelings, okay? The real tough men just don't let that affect their decisions, okay? Yeah, I feel like I feel angry and I feel sad that you just did that, and I want to put a bullet in your brain, but I'm also a logical thinking creature, okay? And I understand that's going to make me go to jail and lose everything I've worked so hard for. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, like a lot of us in life don't have that luxury. And in 2023 and 2024, I really thought about that, and I really was like, okay, the time is now. Like, we ain't got tomorrow. If I'm going to make this thing shake, I got to do it today, which gets us to 2025. Life has never been better than it is right now for me, okay? And don't get it twisted. Like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a lot of excess funds. I don't have a lot of things that I want to achieve in life in terms of my goals. The cars, the houses, the status, where I want to go and such. But what I do have is the mindset. What I do have is the ability to actually move forward and change my life, change my situation, change my way of thinking. So in short, my rock bottom story essentially is just me understanding that being broke is just part of the process. Me understanding that not having the ability to provide for those around me is just a part of the process. Me just understanding that my lack of understanding of the world, my lack of, sense of security in my identity and who I am as a man it's just part of the process. Like, you're always going to have these questions. You're always going to want more. You're always going to fill in the blank. And, that took me from parts where I was ripping my hair out and I was really considering dropping out of college and throwing it all away because I've been lied to my whole life, to me currently in my current state being like, every day I wake up, I'm so grateful to be alive. Every day I wake up, I'm grateful I have another opportunity. Every day I wake up, I get to talk to people like you, probably a 18 to 35-year-old man or woman about, their situation in life and tell you it's possible. I'm living proof of it. I haven't done much, but hey, the reason I'm sitting in this car is because of me. I had the credit score to get this. I had the money for the down payment. I had that. You know what I'm saying? I was able to achieve this. I deserve, air quotes, nice things. Don't get it twisted. This ain't a Rolls Royce. This ain't a Bugatti. I'm not there yet. I still got ways to go. But you get the point. You know what I'm saying? A lot of hard work and a lot of perseverance can really get you somewhere in life. So for today's Let's Get Personal section, I'm not going to do the whole transition. We're just going to talk about it. How can you get out of your rock bottom situation? Okay. Like, I can't speak, about your perspective. That's why I only speak about what I've done. So these are the 6 things I did that helped me, that you could potentially try as well. Because that's all life is. It's a giant experiment. And when I was at the rock bottom, rock bottom, being at rock bottom is a gift. Objectively, when you think about it, actually. Funny enough, that's what the wisdom from your OG is going to be about today, is how rock bottom is a gift, because you have the ability to experiment with zero cost. Okay, if I fail at this, I'm all right. Okay, worst case scenario, I go bankrupt, I lose it all. You know what I'm saying? I'm 24. Okay, bro, I got a lot of life ahead of me. Theoretically, I can rebuild and try again. Okay, but yeah, man, let's get personal. Okay, so like, when you're at rock bottom, you can experiment and you can try things. One of the first things I did was I was just honest with myself. When I was overweight, I'm still overweight now. I was honest with myself. I hopped up on that scale and I was like, this morning I weighed 285. Last week I was weighing 275. Why did I gain 10 pounds in this last week? Maybe it's because I ate a lot of food. I'm not happy with myself when I look in the mirror. Why is that? It's not because I'm overweight. I actually don't mind that. It's the fact that I don't like how other people see me. I'm looking for other people's validation a little too much. Maybe I need to change that. Maybe I either need to not seek that validation, or I just need to change myself into a person that other people respect. Little things like that. I journaled, okay? I took my little notes app right here on my tablet. I took my physical notebooks, and I have plenty, and I just wrote about my life. Whenever I had an interesting thought about this or that, or whenever I was like, dang, I hate myself or something, or dang, I'm frustrated with myself. I don't like how I did that. I don't like how I talked to that person. I don't like how when I walk by girls, they don't look at me like that. I put that in my journal and I wrote it down and I got it out of my head. I put it into the real world and I just looked at it objectively. I was honest to myself. And most importantly, I took responsibility. I understood that, hey, I'm broke because of me. Okay. I don't have a girlfriend right now because of me. I don't have what I want in life because of me. Like, there's nothing out here that says you can't have that. This is America. Okay, most of you watching this live in the westernized world. There's no better place to live. Like I said last week, if I did it right, I could be bossed up with baddies, on a boat in Miami. Funny enough, I'm working with my brother's company, Golden, more and more. I'm just trying to figure out how to get some time off the day job so he can fly me to Houston, Texas, and record videos for people in his company down there. Like things are great, but it's on me to figure that out. It's on me. I got to take responsibility and try to be like, okay, how can I do this day job and the business? How can I maybe just quit the day job and just say YOLO and go work for my brother full time? I don't know, bro, but it's on me. And I took responsibility for that, and I'm still doing that. It has helped a lot, because once you take responsibility and you understand everything's your fault, good or bad, you got to change, okay? And I changed. I changed the way I talk. I changed the way I walk. I changed the way people saw me. You know, people saw me in a positive light, but people started to fall off from the Darshaun wave. But now, things are great. When people see me, I light up a room. When people see me, they know I have an interesting perspective on the world. I don't say as much as I used to because I'm kind of just to myself, bro. I'm an extroverted introvert. Don't get it twisted. I'll pop out and be the main person in a room, but these days, nah. I'm just here to see how everyone's reacting and then make my statement in a quick little point or two and just get gone, bro. Unless I really got time today, because then I'll just go out and say some stuff. But yeah, I changed essentially, which leads me to point number 5. You know, I'm just grateful, bro. Like, gratitude has been something that has gotten me out of rock bottom so much, because when I was like, dang, bro, I don't got money, or I just saw this 22-year-old on Instagram driving a Lambo, it's like, brother, I have 2 cars and a house to my name. Like, I'm up, bro. Like, I have the ability to come outside with thousands of dollars of camera gear and just casually record a podcast on Sundays. You know how privileged I am? Like, I'm so grateful. Like, I have the ability to attempt to help people. You know what I'm saying? Because I've gotten through some things where other people have maybe jumped off a bridge when they were going through these same things. Like, do you know how grateful I am to be alive? Do you know how grateful I am to have 2 legs, 2 arms, 8 fingers and 2 thumbs? Do you know how grateful I am? Genuinely. Like, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm here because of me. I'm here because of those around me. I'm here because of my decisions in this world. And which leads me to my last point here, okay, on what I did to get out of rock bottom. I focused on myself. Genuinely speaking, like, you can't help anyone if you can't help yourself. Like, I wanna get my mom and dad and stepmom and all my siblings and everyone in my life, even if I just met you for like 2 seconds, okay? Like, I want to get everyone I encounter in this world some nice things that they can have and rely upon, and just better their lives, and ultimately give them what they can't or could not have given me. And I just want to feel the satisfaction of that. I want to feel like I'm giving people experiences they would not have experienced, if it weren't for me. And that's my selfish why. But I understand that if I can't, better my own life, if I can't level up and become that guy, if I can't level up and have the money to do stuff like that, or know the people to get stuff done on a, snap of a finger right like that, like, it's not going to happen. So I took some time to focus on myself, and I still do that from time to time. I won't respond to people for days. I have the ability to right now, but it's like, no, I'm saving my mental space so I can maneuver differently. I'm saving my energy I have to record this podcast. I don't have time to hop on a phone call with you right now. I'm trying to build something, I'm trying to show up and show out and go hard in the paint and become the person that can actually do something in this world, because I want to make it out. Like, I grew up in Wellington Heights, Cedar Rapids, bro. Like, people got shot and murdered on my street. Okay, it was on like 8th Avenue, so like half a block away. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like, that bullet could have ricocheted and hit me. Like, I'm not trying to have my family in that situation no more. So if anything, I'm either trying to move them out, or more importantly, I'm just trying to give everyone jobs, bro. I'm trying to show people that there's another way. I'm trying to show people that this little thing called life is like a GTA server. As long as you can think it and you're willing to work for it, you can have it. You can create it. And with all that being said, let's get some wisdom from your OG. Today's wisdom from your OG comes from a little fella called HORMOZI, okay? Play the video. Yeah!
You can flip the fact that you have nothing going for you with you have nothing to lose. You can take lots of risks very quickly and end up in the exact same position you are, which is nothing. Meaning you should be able to do more things faster rather than do fewer things because you don't have a great life or things going for you. And so I think if people flip that, a lot more people would take action because they actually realize the advantage of their position. You can flip the...
All right, now that the video is played, like I was saying, rock bottom is a gift, okay? But I just want to let you know, I forgot to say this in the previous section, like, you can do this too. Like, if you do nothing, like, that is something. So if you're going to do something, you might as well do the thing that helps you get to where you want to get to. And being at rock bottom is a great opportunity in life, because you can genuinely try some things that a 40-year-old with 2 kids and $300K in debt with his house and another $100K in debt with cars can't do. Because like I said earlier, me being a 24-year-old with, 100K in debt, funny enough, if I make a mistake, like, I got time to rebuild. I got time to, try and figure some things out because I don't have kids. I don't have a lot of obligations. Yeah, I got student debt. I got this car. I got the house in Cedar Rapids. But like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I still have the ability to move fast and try some things. And I think you do too, because my analytics say that you're younger. So you probably do. You just don't know it yet. But in life, just test stuff, okay? That's the biggest thing that's helped me get out of rock bottom, is just testing stuff. Me being like, okay, girl, my interactions with girls aren't going well. What can I do different? Okay, when I talk to them, I'm gonna say this, boom, 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 boom. Okay, that went well, but I didn't get the number. So when I'm doing this now, it's like, okay, I'll come up, do some small talk for like 2 minutes, and then I'll be like, oh shoot, I just realized I gotta go. Hey, would you be opposed if I grabbed your number real quick so we can continue this later on and maybe just take you on a date real fast? Like stuff like that. So you can optimize and game the system. That's just one example. And use that line. Would you be opposed? Because humans love to say no. So they'll be like, hey, no, I'm not opposed to that. If they talk to you or not, that's a different story. But you made your CEO success rate go up. I say all that to say, though, that it's a great day it's a great day to have a great day. I hope this message finds you well. And I hope you genuinely get out of rock bottom, because it's a terrible spot to be. I remember when I hit like peak rock bottom, it was September 2022. Not September. It was Thanksgiving. So what, November, I guess? Whenever it was September to Thanksgiving time. I was in my apartment. Everyone in the building had gone away. You could hear like a fly buzzing in the hallway upstairs, on the floor above. It was so quiet. And I just remember sitting in the quiet, in the dark, and being like, brother, I'm about to drop out of college. I'm about to just like go get a van and be a nomad and travel the world, because everything I've been told in my life is a lie. And I'm glad I did it, but I'm glad I had that emotion. I'm glad I felt those feelings, because I wouldn't be here without them. My mind wouldn't have changed. I wouldn't have questioned the things I needed to question to get to where I needed to get to. And it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, with all that being said, next week's topic is the power of small wins. We're going to be talking about how little incremental wins, like I was talking about in the story today, really helped me, break out of that rut in life I was in, and how that really set me up for success. And yeah, that's all I got for next week's topic. Obviously, we'll talk more about that next week. For the outro, yeah, man, this has been a Darshaun Smith production. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to my little story. Thank you for potentially taking some things away. I hope you were taking notes on things you could do to help you in your situation. And best believe it's a great time. It's a great time to be alive. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for giving me some of your time. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, unsubscribe, hate, comment, follow, unfollow, share, or report. I don't really care what you do. Just make sure you be your best self. Stay positive and get the bread. And we gone. Fade to black. Woo.
I'm in my G'd up zone. I'm about to get it in, kick your feet up, home. Days turn to weeks when you're always on the grind all night. I got my re-up back. I'm about to get it in, I'll be right back.
Nate, high lows to those who don't know the name. And G'd up, yup, that's the only thing I claim.